This the only video you're going to need to remove that collection, that charge off, that bankruptcy, that eviction, that student loan, that child support. It doesn't matter. I want to show you guys how to get the best credit score ever because I know you need an apartment, you need a house, you need utilities, you need credit for mostly everything. And I want to show you the system because there's a lot of information out there whether you should do it this way, that way, but I want to show you a right system so you can get your desired results. You all know who this person is. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest of all time. He's been putting in that work. But before Michael Jordan started winning championships, he was losing in like the first, second round. He couldn't quite get there until he had a coach. The coach got fired, or whatever happened to the coach. They brought a new coach in. They brought Phil Jackson. And Phil Jackson, this is going to all make sense. Phil Jackson had the triangle system. And with the triangle system, it needed the right players, the right team, and the right environment and everything to work together, all right? So with Michael Jordan and the system and the also teammates, guess what? The results are astonishing, right? Because he got 6 championships. He got 6 NBA championships. So with him in the system and putting everything, of course, they had their drama and stuff like that. But most importantly, they worked the system. They did the things that are required because Phil Jackson, he was the coach. So once you have the system and the tools and the resources, things going to work for you as long as you're willing to put in the work. And you already know Michael Jordan is that person that's willing to put in the work. He's the dog. So once you put the system in, it's going to work. But as you know, I don't know if you saw The Last Dance. I don't know if you saw the documentary. But they forced Phil Jackson out, and Michael Jordan retired, and whatever happened. But Phil Jackson went to another place with the Lakers, and guess what? He introduced his system, and with his system, guess what? They won some championships. They won 3 championships. But, he took a break. Phil Jackson took a break. He went upstairs, whatever he did, but he came back and won some more championships. So altogether, Phil Jackson and his system and the people he had 11 championships. So as you know, a coach with the system, with the team, with the environment, it's crazy. So I know you guys know this person. If you don't, it's Tom Brady. Tom Brady plus Bill Belichick, guess what? Got the results. They got the results. 6 Super Bowls, all right? He went to actually 9 Super Bowls. I believe he lost to the Giants twice and to the Eagles. So he went to 9 Super Bowls with that system. And you win, you lose, but the results speak for itself. But he's been with that system for the last, I think, 18 to 20 years. And guess what? He took that system that he learned, that he did, that got him the results. And guess what? He brought that system to Tampa Bay. He left, New England, and he brought that system to Tampa Bay. He was up there for 2 years, right? And guess what? That system, it got him the results because guess what? He knew the system. He understood the players that he needed. He understood the environment, the culture, all right? Tampa Bay they had a good team, but they didn't have the quarterback. They didn't have the system. So he took his system, what he learned, the players that he needed, recruited people, brought them along so they can, win the championship. So right now, I want to show you the system so you can go back and watch and come back and do the things that you need to do because guess what? You reap what you sow. And if you don't sow nothing, you ain't going to reap nothing. So, all right. So the first thing you need to understand is that there are other things out there, but most importantly, you need the Fair Credit Reporting Act for the system to work. All right. 15 USC 1681. And this is just a specific, procedure, principle, however you want to call it, out of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. All right. There are other things that are in there. They got compliance. They got for child support. They got other things. But if you're trying to dispute, if you're trying to remove a collection, if you're trying to remove a charge off, a bankruptcy, eviction, student loans that are, of course, in derogatory status, this is the procedure that you need. All right. And it's called procedure in case of disputed accuracy. Now, there are multiple reasons why you could remove an account off your credit report. All right. It can be outdated. It could be erroneous. It could be inaccurate. It can be, there are multiple things on why you can remove an account off your credit report. potential identity theft, right? These are some of the reasons why, and there's a specific procedure for identity theft, all right? So there are multiple reasons why an account can be removed from a credit report. But if you have an account and you know you took it out, guess what? You can't claim identity. You can't say it's not yours because they're going to show proof. You got documents. So what you want to do is dispute based off of accuracy, all right? So once you understand that, now you can get the things that you need to remove off your credit report. So how to leverage the system. First thing you need to do, this is basically a breakdown. Take a screenshot, whatever you want to do, but you want to understand what you need to do. Now, you have to work the system in order for it to work. So introduction, the banking system is dependent upon fair and accurate credit reporting, all right? Inaccurate credit reports directly impair the efficiency of the banking system, all right? Yeah, use word system. And unfair credit reporting methods undermine the public confidence, which is essential to the continued function of the banking system. So guess what? If your credit reports are inaccurate, guess what? You're most likely going to get denied, even if she had multiple late payments on an account that was supposed to be paid off. All right. And by that, it hurt her credit score. So if she applied for something, she's going to get denied. So by reviewing your credit report, you're going to see some of the common things that are not correctly accurate. So what you want to do is check, which is first thing we always say is request your credit report. Go to Identity IQ, right? Here's a QR code. You can take it, 7-day free trial. Once you get the 7-day free trial, you can do what you want to do. But I suggest that you, of course, keep the credit monitoring, because you're going to be able to leverage their system to remove the accounts off your credit report, because it looks similar like this. It looks just like this, because you're going to be able to dispute. You're going to see the things that are inaccurate on your credit report. Now, there are multiple credit reports out there, but this is the best one because you get to see all the information that you need to actually dispute. All right. So first thing you want to do, step one, is identify the inaccuracies. All right. 15 USC 1681. All right. You want to identify the inaccuracies on your credit report. So if you look at your credit report and you look at all the negative accounts on your credit report, you want to check what's wrong with that specific account. You want to see, hey, is an open date? Are they reporting on time? Are they even reporting that I'm even on time? All right. Because if they're not reporting that you're on time, or that you're reporting like you've been paying on time and they're not reporting it, guess what? It's hurting your credit score. It's similar to this right here. They say like, hey, this is okay, but they're not reporting on TransUnion. This is 30-day late. They're not reporting nothing in TransUnion. But as you can see on these other days, they're not reporting correctly. So this is one way you can get an account removed, even though that you took out this account. This account's yours. You still can get it removed based off of it being inaccurate. All right, because everything has to be complete and accurate on your credit report. That's just the law. So I had to make it up. So step number 2 is you want to send in. Now, I know I talk about Experian and Experian backdoor method and all of that, freezing the snitches, but I'm just trying to just make it simple. If you want that process, that's for another video. I can go more in depth on basically how to clean up your Experian personal information, how to leverage the secondary agencies' consumer reports to remove those as well, because as you know, the credit bureaus communicate. That's another video, but that's another topic for another day. But I just want to show you how to start getting some results right now. All right, so we got our credit report. Now what we want to do is send out our letter, all right? So step number 2, reinvestigation letter, all right? The reason why it's called reinvestigation is based off of the law. Investigation, as you can see right here, reinvestigation of disputed information. So subject to subsection F, except as provided subsection G, if the completeness and accuracy of the item of information contained in the consumer's file at a consumer reporting agency is disputed by the consumer, and the consumer notifies the agency directly or indirectly a reseller of such dispute, the agency shall free of charge conduct a reasonable reinvestigation to determine whether disputed information is inaccurate and record the current status of disputed information, or delete the item of file before the end of 30-day. All right. So this is the reason why it's called a reinvestigation letter, because it should already been investigated. It should already been complete. It should already be accurate. But as you know, you look at your credit report, you see the inaccuracies on your credit report. So what you want to do is send a letter. If you don't have the free secret letter, the link is going to be in the description. We'll drop it in the comments later on. But you want to send your letter off. And then as you send your letter off, you want to wait 30 days. All right. Wait 30 days according to the law, 15 USC 1681 A1B. All right. I'm giving you straight the system. All right. So if you don't wait 30 days, this is what will happen to you if you don't wait 30 days. All right. You're going to get a 15 additional days if you send another. If it's not related to the actual dispute and you continue disputing, it's going to give the credit bureaus 15 additional days. And this is the reason why you probably don't get no results. All right. Mike talked about this before. So wait your 30 days. And it's really about 30 to 35 days. About 35 days because they have 30 days to do an investigation and they have 5 days to actually send you the investigation. So you have about 35 days, 35 business days before you actually get the results of the investigation. So step number 3, you want to wait 30 days. All right. This is very key before you send out another round. Now, what typical happens when you wait 30, 35 days, let's just say everything came back verified. All right. Now, typically you might get some results. You might get some stuff deleted off Experian. You might get some stuff deleted off TransUnion or Equifax. But typically what happens is they say everything is complete and accurate on your credit report. We updated, we did whatever we did, but they don't really show what they did. So what you want to do is you want to do a verification request letter. And this is based off of this law right here. All right. 15 USC 1681 I-7. All right. You want to ask them to provide a description on how they verify that account. Now, what's supposed to happen is when you send that letter in, and I forgot to say, when you send these letter in, make sure you certify it and add 2 forms of identification. All right. This is very key. So so they say that you don't sound like a credit repair company. All right. So certify it, add 2 forms of identification, and make sure they actually receive these letters. All right. But when you send that second letter out, based off of that is a consumer reporting agency shall provide a consumer, as you can see right here, a description referred to in paragraph SB3 no later than 15 days after receiving a request from the consumer for the description. So they're supposed to provide you a description of how they verified, what they did, and why everything was verified. And they're supposed to respond back to you within 15 days based off of the law. All right. So you sent your first letter in, some things came back verified. Now you asked them, can you provide me on how you verify this account? And they're supposed to provide you a description of how they verify and what they did. But most importantly, I didn't talk about this law. They're supposed to modify and update and do the things that are required to make sure your credit report or that account is complete and accurate. All right. But they're not going to do that. So step number 6 is you have 2 letters, you have their certified stamps. Now you want to follow up with the CFPB. All right. And step number 6 is follow up with the CFPB and submit your complaint. Now, this complaint is going to be totally different because what you now have is evidence. You have everything, supporting documents, not just no foolishness. You have a legit complaint of what you did. All right. And these all based off of the law. So your complaint is like, I sent this letter out and this is what happened. I did this and this is what happened. And they were supposed to do this according to this law, but they didn't. So now they have to delete this account. And that's going to be your desired results. Now, as you know, the credit bureau, CFPB, sometimes whatever, drag their feet. But typically what happens is they're going to say they need an additional 16 days to do their investigation. Now, as we know, they only have 30 days, but it usually happens before the 60 days. So you're going to get that. I promise you're going to get that response. I need additional 60 days. So just wait the 30 days and they're going to send you a big packet of letters of what happened. And you're going to start seeing some results, some deletions, and you're probably like, what do I do next? You just repeat the system. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Because I want to get to your questions. You have any